They got it. Alright, sweet. Alright, so I'm ditching the chair, people. I'm not sitting in the chair. I'm gonna sit on my bed now. I have like a bed, and then there's a bottom part that also slides in and out. So, but I'm ditching the chair today. So, what I wanted to talk to you guys is a certain movie, King Kong versus Godzilla, which will be released in the year of 2020 or 2020, however you pronounce those. Now, for those of you who have not seen Godzilla 2014, or at least if you haven't seen Kong Skull Island, if you haven't seen any of those, you might want to get out of here because this is spoilers. There's just a few spoilers. So, excuse me. Before I get to those movies, I want to take you guys back a couple years. This movie came out when I was just a kid. It's called King Kong. It's just called King Kong. It came out in 2005. The director, the Jackson, I don't know his first name, I just know his last name's Jackson. Jackson's King Kong was about 20 feet tall. I would estimate about 25 feet tall, but I just actually recently watched the movie with a buddy about a week ago. I watched the movie with him about a week ago, and it was cool because I haven't seen that movie in a while. It's a good movie, and they said in the movie that he was about 20 feet tall. So I was like, oh, okay. I thought he was 50. I would have made a guess and said about 50 feet. Maybe 40 at the lowest. But no, he's a 20-foot ape. So there's that. Now, with this King Kong movie, excuse me, with the Kong Skull Island, 2017 movie, his height has definitely gotten bigger just by the trailers. I mean, he's way bigger than he was in 2005. I watched the movie. Great fucking movie, by the way. Not as good as King Kong, not as good as Godzilla was. But it was a good movie. I'll tell you that. King Kong kicked ass. He is about 100 feet. He's about 100 feet tall in the movie. And now you're like, now here's where the question comes in. You're probably thinking like, how's a 100-foot King Kong gonna go up against the fucking 300-foot Godzilla? That's a good question. Now, here's the answer. Ready? Warner Bros., the people who made the movie, they have came out and said that this, and hear me out first. Godzilla takes place in 2014. King Kong, Kong Skull Island takes place in the 70s. It doesn't take place present day. This takes place back in the 70s. Now, like I said, it takes place back in the 70s, and you got the 80s, and the 90s, and the 2000s, and the 2010s, which is when Godzilla takes place. So that's a good 40 years. Now, we got about 2 more years from now, which is when Godzilla 2, King of the Monsters, comes out. And then another year after that, it'll be 2020 or 2020. I always call it 2020, but people sometimes, what the hell is that? 2020 is when Godzilla versus King Kong comes out. Now, here's what Warner Brothers said. They said that King Kong, taking place back in the 70s, he's not fully grown. He's still growing. As a matter of fact, if you had estimated, he's probably about in his, teenage years in the movie. He's not like an old dog. He's kind of, in the words of the monsters, he's kind of a baby. Like, he's still a little guy yet. He's big, but he's a little guy compared to what he will be when he's fully grown. By the time 2020 comes around, that's about 50 years, okay, after the events of Kong Skull Island. So he had 50 years to grow. Okay, so they said he'll approximately be about 300 feet, same size as Godzilla, or maybe just a tish smaller. Kind of like, 250, I don't know. But they said he'll be approximately around the same size, or somewhat close to the same size as what Godzilla is. Godzilla's fully grown, Yes, Godzilla's fully grown. I mean, and if you want to say, well, how do you know he's fully grown? Well, they said that they did testings back in the... If you watch Godzilla movie, they said they did testings back in the 50s to try and nuke Godzilla, blow the fucking bastard up, and it didn't work. And then he was still big as fuck. I don't know how big. It didn't say anything or show anything. It just showed him coming, like his back coming out of the water. And didn't kill him, obviously. That was in the 50s. Okay, and he could have been alive way longer before then. They never really gave us an origin story about that. They just said they tried bombing him in the 50s, and it failed. And again, God knows how big he was in the 50s. And take that, plus another fucking 60 years into, well, what is it? Yeah, 16, about 50, which is from 50 to 2000s, and then, yeah, about 60 years, actually. 60 years after he was, you know, first bombed, you know, 60, 70 years, all that shit. He had that much more time to grow, unless he was already fully grown and all that shit. So, you know, Godzilla ain't gonna grow no more. King Kong will. Give him some time. He'll be approximately the same size as Godzilla. Now, my prediction for who's going to win. And I really hope they don't pull no Batman versus Superman shit and have them fight, and then all of a sudden later on they team up and fight someone else, and then they're all goody-goody. Like, no, come on. Okay, we got it. Maybe you don't want to kill a certain one off because that might be merchandise or toys going away, or that might be like, oh, you just killed a big cinema hero, man, or some shit like that. I don't care. If you're going to have two people verse, there's always got to be a loser. There's got to be a winner, and there's got to be a loser. And that's something that nowadays movies don't do well. Again, a great example is Batman versus Superman. I know you're like, well, this is monster movies and this is, you know, superhero movies. Still, they had Batman versus Godzilla and almost, or, sorry, Batman versus Superman, and all of a sudden they fought each other, and then they teamed up with Wonder Woman, and then they fought another big guy. You know, they fought Doomsday. I swear to God, if they do listen to King Kong versus Godzilla, they have the two fight, and all of a sudden they team up and they beat someone up or whatever, I'm going to be pissed off. I will. But if they don't do that and they actually legitimately have them fight and there's got to be a winner and a loser, whether it's death or not, I think the winner of the fight will be Godzilla. That's my guy. So yeah, I hope you liked this video. Please take your time to watch all of this. If you liked the video, like, comment, subscribe, and share. That's more where this come from. Deuces.